off, but I want to make sure our listeners have your site, which is deb-spot.com, because I want our listeners to be able to read more about your story, because unfortunately we're out of time. But, I mean, I could talk to you forever, and I know there's so much more we could get into. But I want you guys to go to that website, because Deb's blog really talks a lot about, you talk a lot about your life and what you've gone through. And I really want to thank you so much for coming on the show today and just giving us a glimpse into what you've gone through and sharing your strength with us today.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're an amazing guest, and I hope we get to have you on the show again soon. So thank you for taking the time out. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. WMAP, the world's most amazing people. Guys, I am pretty psyched because I got a great guest coming up. I got a gentleman that has pretty much done it all in this entertainment business here. The guy is an entrepreneur. He's a musician. JRQ TV is what Jon Robert Quinn has invented and made pretty huge. I believe he's out on the West Coast and just came out with a new book. It's called The Cold Call King. And John's got a lot going on and a real interesting guy. I'm pretty excited to get him on here and talk to him about what he's got going on. So, guys, with no further ado, I would like to bring to WMAP, it's my honor and privilege, Mr. Jon Robert Quinn. John, what's going on, my man?
How you doing, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Nice to have you here. You're a guy who's done a lot of stuff.
You have too, and it's an honor to be on your show, man. When you guys called, I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, let's do this thing." I love it.
So, dude, the Cold Call King, did that just come out?
So the first book came out in this last August, and what was funny was, people have been calling me for years because I literally am the Cold Call King master. When I was in the mortgage business, when I was in the car business. People were going, how in the world are you reaching so many people? How are you booking so many appointments? What are you doing? Like, you must be lying to these people. I'm like, no, it's all numbers, man. It's just numbers. It's just, it's just how do you simplify the process? And, anytime you're building a system, you've got to simplify the process. It has to be efficient. It has to be, you have to exceed your expectations from the day before and always be, putting it into a game and reaching more numbers. So people were calling me like all over the world, like literally saying, dude, how do you do this? And I said, I can't take any more calls. I need to write a book about it. Mm-hmm. So I did the book cover before I wrote the book. I'm not making this up. So I did the book cover and I put it up on Facebook, and people literally were like, where do I get the book? And I'm like, oh, crap, I have to write a book. So I'm not making any of this up. So I take the book and I put it up on Facebook, and I put a link to my website with like a PayPal or pre-order type thing. Mm-hmm. So I started getting orders in maybe a couple of hours, orders like from all corners of the globe were going on and pre-ordering this book for $20.
Wow.
Before I was even writing it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I threw the book out real quick, like 80 pages, and 2 weeks later, something like that, we hit the bestseller list, and I was like, oh my God, we're on to something.
Wow.
But it was only 80 pages, and I'm like, I have so much more to say. So my wife and I, we were driving down to LA one day, and for vacation weekend thing, and I went, what if we did an executive edition where it had like a daily a day planner in it, and a calendar, and it has like daily revenue tracker, and I could even put like the Foursquare and explain what the Foursquare is for salespeople so they can pad the deal. So I started calling people and like throwing this idea at them, and they're like, do it. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. So we released that one like maybe 2 months later, and immediately people were buying that book. Well, then people are calling me and they're like, well, what about like entrepreneurship and success and, getting my head right? And I'm like, all right, well, I'm sitting at a seminar and this guy keeps talking, Ron Williams keeps talking about you have permission to win, you have permission to win. And if you don't know Ron Williams, he's a 7-time Mr. Olympian. I mean, this guy's like, he's been around the block, he's done it, he's broken world records for decades. So I go up to Ron, I'm like, dude, I love this, you have permission to win. I said, can I use this? And he goes, well, I own it. And I said, well, I Googled it, and you don't own anything. and he looks at it, he goes, all right, yeah, you can have it. Kind of reluctant, right? He showed his wife, and his wife's like, fine, whatever. So for maybe the next 3 or 4 months, I'm putting this new project together, You Have Permission to Win. So we just launched the Cold Call King, You Have Permission to Win, like literally 2 weeks ago, and it hit the bestseller list 3 days ago.
Nice.
And
good for you. Good for you, John.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy because, I'm just a sales guy, but now I'm inspiring people like all over the world. And, there's I can't say elementary schools, but there's like high school business classes now. I get calls all the time from these classrooms.
To go speak
Kids
or
reports. Yeah, they want to just pick my brain for class projects and stuff. And I'm
That's
just like,
great.
this is crazy that these classrooms are teaching me, It doesn't even make sense to me, but, it's just super cool. And,
that is really cool, John. Tell me a little bit about JRQ TV.
Well, we started with one talk show about 5 years ago, and then everybody and their uncle started coming on the show. We did 127 episodes of The Good Life Show with Jon Robert Quinn, made #1 FM radio here in Sacramento, California. And then people, they would start calling me and saying, hey, can you build me a talk show? Can you build me a talk show? And I said, well, yeah. Well, we went to like 2, then the 4, then the 10. When we got to like 15 talk shows, I had to like find a way to catalog all that video because we shoot everything. So we got to a point we had like 200 hours of video content. So I was like, we need to build our own like TV network. And at the time, I was writing business column for a couple of local papers, and I was just I didn't really like how it was coming out. And I'm like, I could build my own like Fox News kind of thing. So I said, screw it, we're going to build. What was funny actually is we were going to call it the Entrepreneurs Network, and then upon doing research, I found out that Grant Cardone already owned
Grant Cardone.
So, so good old Grant. Yeah, him and I, we did some stuff back in January. But
I like his message. I think he's good.
He's great, brilliant guy, brilliant mind. But so we built JRQ TV, the network for entrepreneurs, kind of like just reversed it. And and now we've got 20 talk shows on there. We've incorporated music and entertainment because, again, I'm just doing what the people are asking.
Right.
We built our own bookstore in it because everybody's, of course, writing books now. That's the new hot thing. So we've got our own bookstore that's connected to Amazon. So essentially, Amazon is paying me to advertise and sell other people's books, which is super cool. And then we've got contributors where, let's say, Casey Armstrong wants to come on and write business columns or write articles. We'll put your column and article up there, and it's cool because you're going to, of course, market and advertise it, which then drives traffic back to the house, which is JRQ TV. So it's really become a force of its own, and it's just a way for us to really catalog all of the content. I think we've got like 500 hours of video now.
Wow.
There. And it's all entrepreneur based. So I mean, if you're trying to build a small business, you're going to learn something by just watching the content.
That's great, guys. If you're just tuning in right now, I'm speaking with Jon Robert Quinn, and for more information, go to jrqtv.com. Check that out, and also he's the author. He is the Cold Call King, and he's a huge entrepreneur and musician. The guy does it all. Jon Robert Quinn, he does. So go to jrqtv.com. Hey, John, I know you're getting offers to speak everywhere and to do appearances and stuff like that, but where do you find that you connect best with people that are looking to pick your brain? Is it at the schools? Is it the colleges, the businesses? Where do you find that you move the most people?
Small businesses, man. Just sitting there with mom and pops. I get larger companies that call me all the time, want me to do stuff. Personally, I don't like doing it. I don't want to go to a big car dealership that's got 100 salespeople and sit there with a bunch of, guys that think they know everything, except they're making $4,000 a month, thinking they know everything. Honestly, I would rather just sit down with a mom and pop that's eager to grow. One of the things one of my sales managers taught me years back was, you're either green or you're dead, meaning you've got to stay green, always be learning, always be growing. And when you're talking with entrepreneurs, these people have passion. And I just love just making myself available to just the mom and pop. Come to my home, sit down in front of me, let's sit down, spill the beans, tell me what's going on. Do you have money or not? Is your business failing or not? Where do you want to go with your business? And let's just sit down and find a solution together. And that's really where my passion is. When they walk out of here and they're like, man, you've given me hope. And then I see them growing and excelling, and then they fire me, 2 years later or whatever, because now they're on to bigger and better things. It's a wonderful feeling.
That's awesome,
So
John.
really
That's really cool, man.
Feeling.
Guys, Jon Robert Quinn, go to jrqtv.com, and hopefully you'll hear more from John on this channel, wmapradio.com. John's a great guest, and these interviews go... we already went over, but dude, I hope you come back. You got a lot to say, and you're a great guest. So you're definitely one of the world's most amazing people, brother. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye now. Hey, guys, that's Jon Robert Quinn. Go check that out, man. JRQ TV. That sounds pretty cool.